My name is Musenze Kasim, accountant for Porto Referral Hospital.
Thank you so much. Honorable colleagues, just a recap. There remained a pending issue for Fort Portal Regional Referral Hospital that required a quick. We gave you time to come back today for a quick recap. They've responded. The first issue was we needed to confirm that the trial balance as it was in the what is this computing system called? Excel. Infamous is the same as it was in what? In Excel. They seem to be the same. They are the same. So that settles that issue. Okay? Now the second issue is when you look at your figure, your accounts, you have activities. You go back to 4. The auditor audited you. The amount that was warranted to you was 12.56 billion. Okay, let us recap. Utilization of warrant. You had a budget of 14.04 billion, of which 12.56 was given, leaving a 1.4 unutilized. Now, the unutilized money, honorable colleagues, they are in table 4, which was 905 for gratuity. That is settled. Now we go to the implementation of activities. It says, I assess the extent of implementation of for which funds were availed and utilized. So the question of unutilized money is dealt with in table 4. We understand? Now, when we go to 2, we are speaking to monies that you got and utilized. The activity that whose money was 1.4 is already settled in table 4. Agreed? Money that was not utilized. Now, when you go down, table 1, one output with activity expenditure of 120 was fully implemented. All the other activities with 3 outputs with 38 activities worth this amount were partially implemented. Out of the 38, the entity fully implemented the 34 activities, partially implemented the 3 activities, and 1 activity was not implemented. Now on the appendix, okay, is it appendix 1? Appendix 1. And I'm being very quick. Appendix 1, honorable colleagues, they show you that in human capital development, there was an activity that was partial. One, they show you that the one unattended to activity was in human capital development. Not so? And it was in what speaks to the 905. Is that correct? From your explanation, is what speaks to the 105. And because this gives us the total activities of 38, which we will now. This 12 point, these 38 activities, are you following? Don't include the bullet 1. We understand each other? This is what the auditor writes. Honorable colleagues, I don't know whether they're together. One output with one activity and expenditure of 100 was fully implemented. Okay? 3 outputs with 38 activities worth this were partially implemented. Out of the 38, the entity fully implemented 34, partially implemented 3, and 1 activity was not implemented. A summary is in the table below. Now you are saying that the 1 activity that was not fully implemented includes the 905. Are we there? Then you are saying, but when you add the 38 activity, you get it? The 38 activity. So this shows only partial and fully implemented activities. And it counts to the whole amount of 100, 556. Let's settle that first. The amount of fully, we are not talking figures. You see this figure, the audit assessed, of 12.5656. You've seen it. 12,556,000,000. You've seen it? Now, on this appendix, it is both for fully and partially implemented activity. This fully implemented activity is not part of it. Is that correct? Eh? So you get this amount. I don't know whether you are following. You get the 12.5355617 minus 112, 12 million. Have you substituted? You get me? Are we together with you?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Sir, the auditor assessed expenditure worth 12.556 million. 12,556,000,000. Is that correct? Now, of the amount assessed, 1 activity was fully implemented, which was for 120 million. And that activity of 100 million is a development activity, is your entire development budget. I don't know for what, I don't want to interrogate. So that was fully, so we can, from the word, go from the 100 and 556, knock off 120. Is that correct? That is for an activity that was fully implemented. What does it give us? What does it give us? Because I want to be quick with you. What does it give us? Give us 436. Was money given to you, you get me, for activity that we are now partially implemented? For output, it's output. For an output that we are partially implemented. Now, 3 outputs we are now talking about with 38 activities worth 12 point, you get me? 12.436, 12,436,000,000 were partially implemented. Is that correct? Okay? Now, I want a difference, please, of the amount of money. You've done the substitution minus this 12.456. Is there a difference? Whether negative or positive, you just get me the difference. Are you with me? because I'm intent to be very quick. You get what I'm doing?
Honorable Chair, the accounting officer seemed to be totally off. I wanted to inquire from him, for you, what did you come to respond to?
No. This one they've written.
He seemed not to be agreeing with what you are reading, Honorable Chair.
No,
I've
he
been
doesn't need
observing
to
him
agree.
seriously, but he seemed to be lost.
He doesn't need to agree. I'm reading figures that that are in the audit reports. Do you get? I know what you want to refer to, but just hold on a minute. I want you to get my logic. You are the math person. I got your total utilized activity budget, which is 12,556,173,605. Okay? I knock off 120 for a fully implemented what? Activity. I remain with the balance. What is the balance, sir? I want these figures very quickly. Yes, ma'am, you've done the balance? We are not seeing these figures. Can you get me a pen? You mentioned them, the clerk will take it. They are total of 12.336 billion. Now, that is for other three outputs. But within the three outputs, you understand me, they are the total of 38 activities. Okay? With the total of activities, and they were worthy, you are now not seeing. Isma, I want you to get that figure for me. They were worth a total of 0.436173660. I want you to substitute this figure from the other one. You get what I mean? What do you get? Whether negative or positive. Negative? In terms of million. That is 100 million. You get me? You have a difference there of 100 million. Now, that difference of 100 million is between money you've saved, which you got 2555, fully implemented this. Already there we notice 100 million difference. And says was partially implemented. Out of the 38 the entity fully implemented 34, partially implemented 3 activities, and 1 activity was not implemented, as summarized in the table below. Partially implemented activities, human capital, 5,500, negatively affected. Unimplemented activity, that's the amount of money. Okay? For salary. Now, these figures you are quoting for me that mount to 1.4. And when I go to Appendix 2, which are for 3 activities, you get me? That's why when you add those 2 figures, you have 100 million to show me where you put it. It's as simple as that, and I've not seen it here in your explanation. They are not a diverted amount of money. It is an amount of money. You've got to tell me where you put it. It is as simple as that, and you did not respond to it here. You got me? I've seen what you've written here. What you've written here is a duplication of the 1.4. And it's not in your trial balance. It's not a diversion. It's not a mischarge. Where is it? is for money that was partially implemented and you can't account for it. Okay? It is as simple as that, and we go. You have no explanation. As I told you, I send you to CID. The two of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you followed my logic?
I have followed.
Yes.
I have followed your logic, and I've also been comparing it with the explanation we got from Appendix 1, on Appendix 1 from the auditor. Appendix 1, which is actually being used to generate Table 4 and Table 5. Now, the auditor presented the Appendix 1 into a more detailed, which was able to pick these unfunded, rather partially implemented and fully implemented activities, and even the unimplemented activity. The unimplemented activity, as shown in Table 4, I think that's Table 5, and the partially implemented activities were also detailed.
Yeah,
now,
sir, I told you I'll deal with you for only 10 minutes.
Yes.
Even if you look at Appendix 1, okay? You get it?
Yes.
You have total 4343. And you look at 436, and you look at, it's the same figure, 436. But when you compare that with 120 and the 55, there is 100 million. It is as simple as that. That's money that got legs from you, and you cannot explain its way about. You have only 2 minutes. Even these ones did not see that, but I'd seen it.
Because from here, we're able to see what culminates into a total of partially implemented activities. Now, when activities are partially implemented, that means the money is not spent to 100%. So, these totals have been provided on that table.
Sir, you are delaying me. I've added you the total of amount of money you utilized. I've given you the one activity which you fully implemented. Then the rest of the monies are detailed in the detail as per Appendix 2. The difference between that is the 100 million, which are not in your books of accounts, they are not in NANI, they are not anywhere, but this money was spent. Have you got my argument, sir?
Excuse me, Chair.
Either you had to show me, that's why I told you from the word go, either you had to show me you had a mischarge or a diversion. Failure, which you have failed, is that you embezzled that money.
Chair, when we contacted the...
No, not the auditor. These are yours. Forget about the auditor. He did his job. He's the one who gave me these figures. I've not read any figure that I've manufactured anywhere. They are within the Auditor General's report. So forget about, have I manufactured a figure anywhere? Every figure I've read is within the Auditor General's report. And I've told you, when I read there, I say 100 million, where is it? And which money is not in your books of accounts? You are very smart, thinking you will hide all the diversions and partially implement things, and we will never see it. You know, when you see me winding up my books, is that I need another entity.
Yeah, if you look at this appendix 1, the unimplemented activity is for the wage.
We are past that. I've approved it.
The
It is for the
partially-
wage. The 9005 is for the wage. I've approved it. Those other small monies you've written, I've approved it. You okay? I'm telling you, press for me the 100 million between the fully implemented, the money utilized, and the money for the partial implemented. There is a difference of 100 million. Where is it? And I've used them to add these minuses. And I know in their books of account, they have not seen it. I can even give you 2 minutes to recompose yourself.
Chair.
Yes?
Through your chair, I would suggest that the account officer may have issues, but then he has with him the accountant who knows figures.
He is the accountant.
Oh, no, the doctor is not an accountant.
No, this one
Okay,
is an accountant.
okay.
Chair, in 2 minutes, can I see clarification from what the auditors have seen? Because I don't
Even
have
the auditor who audited you is not here.
No, you seem to concur with them, but me, when I contacted the auditor who audited...
No, forget about the auditor who audited. I've read you his or her figures.
Okay, he defended...
No, he
his
can't
figures,
defend
like
even the
what he
auditors
gave us.
at this level. By the way, I can only query him for clarification. He doesn't answer for you. Have you seen the logic?
I've seen, but it seems we are not making any headway. Why can't we sustain the query? And
No, I'm not sustaining the query. Yes, we are giving you the last 2 or 3 minutes.
The 12.4 billion is for fully implemented activities, which are 34, and partial implemented activities. Because that was the money which was spent.
Honorable
Now-
colleagues, I've had a go at this, sir. Where you're taking us, don't read it in any way. Doctor, don't explain the 2 of you report to a CID for loss of 100 million. Meeting adjourned. They can pay now? Yeah, you will clear. The rest is beyond me, and there you go. And meeting adjourned. So, handle. Can we have Masaka? And I save my vice from conducting that referral because it is our home area, having the trouble. Get Masaka here. You have done with this, taking charge.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Me Like It World Music Festival is back. Fast 2nd and 3rd August at the Tropical Beach Garuda, Entebbe. To get your ticket, dial *217*413#. Input the event ID 0706. Select ticket category. Input your PIN and you're set for the celebration. For more information, call 0752-833-111 or visit us on the web at www.milege.org. Milege World Music Festival is powered by
The Deputy Chair of the Committee. Honorable colleagues.
Chair, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wamakui Mudini Ignatius, Member of Parliament, Elgon County, Member of the Committee.
Chair, my name is Vasali Rasman from Bujiri. I'm a member of the committee.
My name is Dr. Joseph Rionga from Hoima West and a member of the committee.
Chair, our guests, good afternoon. I'm Hope Grania Nakazibwe, woman member of Parliament, Mubende District, member of this committee.
Chair and members, I am Lukwang Philip Silukol, member of Parliament of Kwale West constituency, Karamoja, and a member of this mighty committee. You're welcome.
My name is Sarah Pendi, member of Parliament from Tororo District.
Susan Amero from Amuria. Nafesa Victoria, represent PPG in Parliament. Okay.
Staff.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Max Kumakech, the clerk to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. To move as Arnold, Minister of Finance, Accountant General's Office, attached to Park.
Thank you, Chair. Gumomore Jesse, Minister of Finance, Accountant General's Office.
Don Augustine, Research. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Chair, Samuel Kavma is my name from the Office of Lead of Government Business.
Thank you, Chair. Detective Corporal Nyakeyo, CID.
Accounting Officer and your team. Introduction, Accounting Officer with your team. If you are the Accounting Officer, kindly take the seat where the lady is seated. That is your seat.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Dr. James Justice Elima is my name, the Hospital Director, Masaka Regional Referral Hospital. I've come with my team, some administrative, others are clinical. They will introduce themselves. Thank you very much.
Bitu Michael is my name. Procurement Officer, Head PDU, Masaka Referral Hospital.
Timothy Carbonero, Head of Pharmacy, Masaka Regional Referral Hospital.
Good afternoon. My name is Ben Nahabe. I'm an accountant and head of accounts.
My name is Sisi Katwesige. I'm the Principal Human Resource Officer, Head of Human Resource. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Charles Tumushime. I'm the Principal Hospital Administrator, Head of Administration.
Good afternoon, members. All protocol observed. I'm Dr. Mary Nyantaro. I'm a consultant pediatrician at Masaka Regional Referral Hospital.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Senyondo Gonzaga Gonza. I'm a senior consultant obstetrician gynecologist. I'm also the clinical head of Masaka Regional Referral Hospital.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ali Musoke.
by medical engineer and head of medical equipment maintenance workshop.
Honorable Chair, we are done with the introduction. Only to collect colleagues the other side. We don't have ladies and gentlemen here. We have the chair and honorable members. So as you do submit, you have to correct yourselves on that. Honorable Chair, I hand over to you.
Thank you. I'm introduce myself. I'm Wanga Chivumbi Muhammad. I'm the chairperson of this committee. Because of time, we have plenary at 2. We are not going to go into any other issue. We shall go to 1.1. You can ignore. We have not ignored. Is that we recognize it. We shall deal with it. So let's go to 1.2. Domestic area. In addition, section, I noted that the hospital reported a closing balance of trade creditors of 800 million 28 under the statement of financial position, and the opening balance of 460 million, representing an increase of 80%. A review of the supporting documents and aging analysis indicated that 468 relate to activities, 187 to pension and gratuity, and 116 to other expenses. Honorable colleagues, that's the query.
Honorable Chair, I do request that the accounting officer, as he does make a response on this, he explains that increment in arrears of close to 80%. That means the accounting officer commits the entity beyond the appropriation and beyond the committed funds. Number 2, Honorable Chair, I request the accounting officer to also give us an update on how much Masaka Regional Referral Hospital spends annually on utilities, because we seem to have a very exorbitant figure here of 460 million in regard to utilities. So we need to know why do you have a lot of arrears on utilities, but also to update us on how much do you budget for under utilities, especially for electricity and water.
Chair, the auditor was quoting section 21(2) of PFMA. So maybe first deal with the legal aspect, where it says the board shall not take any credit from any local supply and body unless it has no unpaid domestic arrears from a date in the previous financial year, and it has capacity to pay the expenditure from the approved estimate as appropriated by Parliament for the financial year. Maybe we can first deal with the legal aspect.
Yeah, my understanding is, because of time, we've dealt with the question of domestic area. Where we meet it, we know the answers, and we know where they fall short. Unless we have a better explanation, we need it. We just uphold the query and proceed. I mean, we've dealt with it. I think the committee has a clear idea of what its recommendation will be in regarding to domestic area, unless there is something peculiar.
Honorable Chair, the only peculiar item about Masaka Regional Referral Hospital is the abnormal increment of, this is Masaka Referral. This is Masaka Referral. The abnormal increment in arrears of 80%. So, Honorable Chair, at least we would exonerate any entity that where the explanation is they have not released money for arrears, but for these ones, they continue to commit the entity far beyond what is available to them. We can explain why do we have 80% increment in arrears.
Chair, can I respond?
Can you read your explanation first?
Chair, our management response is that, as explained to the audit team, the bulk of the domestic arrears is for utilities, as shown in the table below.
which are not easy to ration. Over time, the hospital has been expanding both horizontally and vertically in terms of population growth, service expansion, infrastructure, and equipment. All these increase utilization of utilities, coupled with the increasing rates by service providers against our static budget for over a decade. Rationing of utilities would mean denying patients services or compromising service delivery, including spreading infection. For this reason, it becomes inevitable to incur these areas.
That was the explanation. That's why I told him to read it.
Honorable Chair, as a beneficiary from that regional referral hospital, Honorable Chair, it is very unfair for government to increase on the services that are supposed to be rendered by Masaka Regional Referral Hospital, and they continue giving the referral hospital the same budget. So in that line, accounting officer, what has been the budget of Masaka Regional Referral Hospital for the last 3 years? Actually, 2 years. You can give the last 2 years.
Chair, our total budget has been oscillating between 12.4 to 12.8 billion shillings. That's the total budget, including everything.
What is your population cover as a region?
The recent UBOS population says we are 2.9 South Central Uganda.
Honorable Chair, really as a beneficiary from Masaka Regional Referral Hospital, when you look at the allocations from the different referral hospitals and in regard to the population that they do serve, Masaka Regional Referral Hospital has a very little budget, 12.4 billion to serve a population of 2.9 million. Is when you compare these to the Fort Portal, compare them to Rua and the population that they do have. Right, Honorable Chair, there is a lot of compromise when it comes to the quality of services that are given to the people of Masaka. Honorable colleagues, if we can be supported as a region, we are very underfunded when it comes to a regional referral hospital that serves close to how many? 10 districts? 10 districts and one city,
Yeah,
Honorable Chair.
Yeah, I like to appreciate your explanation advice, but that is more work that should be in a sector committee. For an accountability committee, we stick to the law. Is that Masaka, well, the question of underfunding is appreciated, but you are given a budget ceiling. You are given a budget called circular to allocate money yourselves. You refuse to allocate money to what is so critical in running a hospital, which is water and power. Okay? And because you want to be sentimental, and say, you know, areas are on water, are on what, therefore nobody will account you, will accost you for having done that.
Chair?
Yes?
If we turn to page 37 of the account, statement of outstanding commitment, because the accounting officer indicated that the areas were as a result of utilities. We have a table there. Who is heading the accounts?
Head of accounts, Mr. Ben.
Can we go to page 37? Are we there, sir?
We are there.
I've seen opening commitments, then accumulated. Can you take us where the utilities are? Because it's giving us the breakdown.
Yeah, Chair and honorary members, as per the chart for the reporting template here, the outstanding commitments as indicated, and as we are guided, we do not alter the reporting template. However, we have provided the breakdown in the responses, and it shows clearly on that same page where we have attempted to break it down into water, electricity, pensions and gratuity.
Page 37 of the account.
Yes, I'm saying page 37 of the accounts. That is the structure of the reporting template, and we cannot.
But sir,
the
structure gives you utilities, gives you rent, compensation of employees, contribution to international organizations, quota awards and compensation, taxes and other deductions, goods and services, land and property and equipment, and even it goes ahead and tell you others. Why don't you choose to put in a kiraro of goats to keep
the accounting officer indicated that this is largely because of utilities.
In a
you are expanding. Now you are expanding. You are now putting on. Can we?
Here, what I'm explaining, Chair and members, is that here on the reporting template, the figure is indicated
sir,
as the operating.
You are explaining. Give us a note that you are reading in your accounts that breaks down that figure. We want a note that breaks down 459 459 million.
Chair, it is note 28.
Is it there? Note 28 on which page?
Page 28. We have utilities as 459 total. Goods and services.
Sir, I told you the note I want is the one that breaks down the 415 categorization of payables.
Down there.
Yes.
Yes.
Page 28.
Yes.
At the last table, categorization of payables. The payables are categorized as below. Utilities, the total of, we have current 157,618, then non-current 302,076,000, giving us a total of 459,694.
Is that enough categorization?
Then goods and services.
I know, we want to just utilities first.
Can you?
On which page?
Yes, honorable member, note 28A is current and then 28B is non-current.
Sir.
As it is indicated on the table. That is the same note. That is the same note, sir. That is the reason I broke it down in the response.
But you see, the table here gives you a category of utilities. It says it tells you rent, compensation of employees. You should have put electricity, water. That's the explanation note, which gives you that added figure.
Chair, the Accountant General is represented here. We are always warned not to tamper with this reporting template. We have to give further explanatory notes with the attachments. Otherwise, we don't alter what has been provided to us for reporting purposes.
that figure on utilities in categorization in note 28, 29 of payable, the same as the other one in total? Okay.
Yes, Chair, I note the difference. The difference is on page, an additional categorization on page 30, which is pension liabilities.
And when you add the two, you get the same figure?
You get 828, sir.
Query sustained, we proceed. Understaffing, no. I'm now using a different. Understaffing. Honorable colleagues, the auditor noted that out of the approved structure of 1,217 positions for Masaka Hospital, only 276 are filled, leaving 941 positions, which is 77% vacant. The most affected critical sections departments were of nursing and medical officers, details in Appendix 1. Honorable colleagues, we've dealt with the question of staff. Can you look at Appendix 1? But we've looked at this structure in other entities. If we interrogate it further, shall we get anything better? The standard response, we know it. Lack of funding. But let's say, how many doctors do you have?
Chair, we have, along the whole category of doctors, there are 35.
There are 35?
Yes, but if I'm to categorize them now, the medical officer special grade, instead of the 14, we have 2. The senior consultants, instead of 4, we have 2. Then the consultants, instead of 14, we have 2. So it spreads across that when we need the right people, the right cadre, the right number, we usually don't get it, and we don't have adequate wage.
Now
and
you,
it is not, sorry.
Okay. Now you are a referral.
Yes.
And I know cases that fail in my hospital in Gombe. Are you part of us? No.
We do a lot of your work, sir.
You do a lot of our work. Now, what qualifies to be a referral?
Chair, apart
when you
from
don't have the basic staff.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Chair, apart from the staff recruited by Health Service Commission, we also have staff from universities, and that is where our strength is. For example, we don't have a oral and maxillofacial surgeon. We have one from Equator University, and that's why you see so many accident cases involving crushed face are sent to Masaka. Where we don't have like a neurosurgeon, we transfer we stabilize the case and transfer to Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital. So we tend to interplay, but we work within our means.
Now the one from Uganda Matters University?
Equator University.
Equator. How do you enumerate, how do you pay him?
We have an MOU chair with the Equator University. As we give them patients, they must give us staff. And that is how the MO is established and how it works.
You give them patients for what?
Chair, these hospitals, these patients, I know I'm using a very hard word, but they are for teaching. So the students of Equator University learn. Their teaching hospital is Masaka Regional Referral Hospital.
So you want to tell us in a referral hospital, some of your staffs are learning and you depend on them.
I don't get you, excuse me.
In a referral hospital. I'm referring to you as a referral hospital. Part of the key core staff you depend on as students.
Chair, not the students, but the staff provided by the university. And this is across all regional referral hospitals.
So you want to tell us, we keep learning that regional referral, part of their core staff are students.
Chair, maybe for students, it is the simple works in the hospital. But when it comes to treating patients, these are all qualified staff, and these are people who are registered with the Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners.
Be careful.
Honorable Chair.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I think what he's saying is that Equator University provides them with some staff. They second some staff in your hospital. Are they part of these 200 that you're talking of?
No.
Because those are not the ones that you're supposed to report here, and you should work towards filling the positions that are meant to be filled by government.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to find out from the director. I do understand the challenges that regional referral hospitals face. But where you're supposed to have, for instance, 14 medical officers special grade, I'm just giving a, and then you have, you said how many? You have 2.
There are actually 3, yes, 3.
You have 3?
Yes.
You're supposed to have senior consultants.
Who are 4?
Who are 4, you have 2.
Yes.
That one is 50%.
Yes.
You are supposed to have consultants, 14.
Yes.
You have 2.
Yes.
So if the gap is being filled by the university, to what extent is that gap of 14, out of 14 you have 2, so which means there is a vacancy of 12. So the university, what does it contribute to? I want to understand. Because it means you have 12 vacancies now, and you're saying you are relying on the university. So out of these 12, how many do you have? And Chair, for me, I think this is why we are registering so many deaths amongst Ugandans. And even sometimes even misdiagnosis of diseases. Because, I mean, you don't have the key staff. People are just, well, I don't know. You're supposed to be attended to by a senior consultant because they are not there. Maybe it is a medical officer now just attending to this person which should not be the case.
Please, Chair.
So can I understand from the director, if Equator University is providing you with some, okay, is filling in some bit of the gap, to what extent is that gap filled?
Chair, before the director answers.
And then can I just conclude, Chair? Chair, these consultants, as he talks about 4 senior consultants, and there are 2, they are supposed to be in different fields. It's not the same field. Am I right? So if you have 2, which means there is a gap of 2, I don't know in which field, where there is, yes, which specialty, the other 2 were supposed to, that you don't have. So can I understand how that gap is filled? Because I don't think that we'll simply take it that Equator is handling.
Let me refer you to Appendix. Is this section 4, Appendix 1? The details are alarming. Office of the Executive Consultant. Subtotal, you are supposed to have recommended 10, you have 3. Vacancy 7. Internal medicine, subtotal 177, you have 42. Okay? Psychiatry.
These numbers are quite misleading. Chair, number 1, which you've just read that the Office of the Executive Consultant, the recommended establishment is 10, and field is a 3, vacant is 8. Which one is the correct figure there?
Chair.
There's a problem.
Chair, maybe Chair, I explained to you something. Chair, when the new establishment was passed out, you are supposed to customize it according to the wage you have. To fill the positions I'm talking of is the old structure, which we have never even filled it close to 50%. Now, if we are to go with the new structure, that's why it was supposed to be customized. You implement it according to the wage you have. You do not have the wage. Will you still implement the new structure?
No, you was only saying, simple math. You have 10 positions, filled at 3, vacant at 8. You get it, that structure. So how reliable is this total figure of yours? But honorable colleagues, even if you have to take that,
But Chair, if I may be allowed to say something before the accounting officer answers, comes in. Would you also like to tell us, Mr. Accounting Officer, Sir Doctor, about the recent the advertisements to have recruitments done by the Health Service Commission? Do they answer to some of this, or is it stagnant that you have what you had? To what extent has the recent advertisements to recruit been of value to this issue?
Anyway, this is the sad story of Masaka. Because for you, what minimum staffing would qualify you to be a regional hospital? Because it's very basic. When you want to set up a school or wherever, there are minimum requirements. You seem to lack the basic primary staff to qualify you to be a hospital, to be a referral. Because if where internal medicine is where they are basic, I think that is the basic general. I don't know what internal medicine is, but from what we've learned, internal medicine is the real thing. Instead of 177, you have 42. Then you go to psychiatry, 66, you have 22. There is this public health, 17, you have 0. Okay? Pediatrics and child health subtotal, 91, 12. Nutrition, 5, you have 1. You go through all these tables here. Do you qualify to be a referral hospital?
Mr. Chairman, maybe is take, because recently the chief executive indicated that there should be a policy reverse of Kirudu, and do you think this one can also be downgraded to district hospital with all this? How do you see? Because you don't qualify to be a referral.
Chair, can I have the mic? Chair, there are two. I will give time for the principal of human resource also to explain. Public service came up with the new structure for health services delivery. But we already had the old structure, which we had not even filled to more than 50%. And the new structure is customized according to how much wage you have. And that is always what we present to public service, that we need A, B, C, D. Now, coming to Honorable, he was asking, what you are seeing there is the new structure. Okay, the old structure says there are 4 departments. Department of Surgery, which everybody knows, Department of Internal Medicine, the Department of Pediatrics, and then the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. In the old structure, all these departments had 1 senior consultant each. That's why I was saying there are 4. Now, if we go to the new, they want 10 of them. Is that okay? For example, the Department of Obstetrics, we have 1 senior consultant, and he's the head of clinical services. He's here. He will explain to you much of it. Under the Department of Obstetrics, we have 2 medical officers special grade. And they were supposed to, that's the number which is supposed to be there. And then we are supposed to have 2 consultants, but we have none. Internal medicine, we are supposed to have 1 senior consultant, 1 consultant, and 2 medical officer special grade. But this is the old structure. Customizing the new structure, you must have wage for it. That's why I was still talking about the old structure. I think I will give Chair, with your permission.
Not going to allow any more explanation. We've had this story. It's not any different from any regional. All that we need to do as a committee is to make a very strong recommendation. One that borders on what Honorable Mudini has said. If these hospitals don't have the capacity to be regional, let them be degraded to district hospitals so that your catchment area is small and you can handle. I know you will resist it because it will put you under district administration.
Just a correction, Chair. We don't have district hospitals. We have general hospitals.
General hospitals.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll become a general hospital. So that you should be what you are. Hey, don't be like this village councillor that call themselves honorables. You find a councillor of a parish saying, I'm honorable.
They are honorables.
They are honorables. Now, for you, honorable, you are them.
I think the recommendation.
With enough staff. So, which regional referral? So, there are white elephants out there. That's why some of us, Madam Sarah, we are strongly making a case that this money we are throwing to PDM, we put that money towards health and education. 2 sectors. In 10 years' time, you would have changed the society than giving Marwa people 1 million each. And the president is busy touring sick people because they can't treat themselves.
No, Chair, there are other monies, not necessarily PDM.
No, that one we are going for it anyway.
There are other monies, not PDM.
Even PDM, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can look for other monies for other sectors. Anyway, let us uphold the query. We, even if we interrogate it until
You can
cows
create
come.
a medical fund.
Whatever.
And Chair,
Anyway,
Chair,
that's for another.
read the
1.4 honorable colleagues. 1.4 honorable colleague, management of medical services. Delivery of receipts of medicine. During the audit, I examined the store records and noted that management experienced delays in the delivery of medicine and sundry to the hospital by the National Medical Store during the period, with the time ranging between 14 days and 68 days, detailed in the table below. In the 6th cycle of August, there was a delay of 24 days. In the 2nd cycle, a delay of 60 days. In the other cycle, a delay of 36 days. The other delay was 68 days. The cycle 5, a delay was 14. Cycle 6, the delay was... Now, these cycles are like 2 months. Now, no, 2 months are the cycle. Now, if you delay by 60 days, that means in the whole cycle of 2 months, you have not received the medical supplies. It is a disaster. How do you operate? If a delay is 68 days, that means in the whole 2.5 months, you've not been able to receive medical supply.
And once patients visit you say no medicine, they go back. Is that?
Now, that's why in every hospital there is a pharmacy. And I don't know who owns the chain of these pharmacies. Because he must be behind this policy. It's like Parliament. They delay your pay and you go to a circle. You don't ask yourself who contributes money there. Anyway, that's for another day. So but, Honorable, this is, we only note with sadness, but it's a general issue. Can we go to another one? So the auditor noted, but Masaka, aren't you over and above the average we've seen? No, we've seen on the delays. This is like too much.
And they missed drugs for 2, you call them cycles. Those 2 you did not receive, cycles.
Yeah,
for the 2 cycles they did not receive drugs.
You only indicate it here. Now, is there a cycle where you receive an oversupply?
Chair, yes, when the delay is there, but when they are bringing the drugs, they bring it with the delayed cycle.
And
so does that help?
Does that help?
Chair, it doesn't, definitely. Doesn't. Yeah.
Somebody has already died, so.
So all you keep record and call them to come and pick the medicines that they didn't pick. A retrospective, dispatch of drugs.
Honorable colleague, section 2.
Chair, maybe on that, in that line of medicine supplies and the issues of late delivery, we had said would be engaging the NMS. Could it be proven that when they come around, the answer to that in depth, because it looks like it's a problem that's cutting across all the people visiting us here. Thank you.
Okay, honorable colleagues, we go to section 2. Section 2, you had a budget of 12.48, 12,408. All of it was warranted, correct?
Yes, Chair.
Be affirmative. I will not go back to it. Mr. Seremba. Is it Seremba?
No.
Who?
To Michael.
Okay.
It's to Michael.
You resemble Seremba. And you are warranted and allocated 90%, 11 billion. The total warrants as below. So you know, portion of warrants audited is there, 12 billion point 40, the whole amount. Utilization, section 1. The entity had a warrant of 12.34. What is the difference? Utilization of warrants. Do you notice that? Honorable colleagues, the entity had total warrants of 12.341, out of which warrants worth 11. Let's first reconcile that. The table 1 shows that the entire amount was warranted. Not so, sir?
Yes, Chair.
The statement here says the entity had total warrants of 12.341, out of which I'm looking at this figure speaking to table 1. Are you there? Yeah, it's some good money. So, sir, you said all the money was warranted to you, and from this paragraph, I see that all the money was not warranted.
Chair, maybe the accountant can explain it.
Is
If given permission.
that correct?
Honorable Chair and members, the 12.8 was the total warranted, and during the audit, the auditor audited what was utilized.
No.
So the balance that was returned is not included in this figure.
First, hold on.
Yes.
Let's move slowly by slowly. Table 1, you had an approved budget, revised one. Moreover, did you get a supplementary?
Yes, please.
Eh?
The supplementary is included in the 12.4.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you had the total budget of 12,408,000,000.
Yes.
From this table 1, all of it was warranted. Is that correct?
Yes, Chair.
Now, when you go to this paragraph 1, the entity, even the auditor audited it. Now, the entity had the total warrants of 12.341. Out of which warrants worth total 11.45 had been utilized by close of a financial year. I want us to be consistent. Are you there? I want us to be consistent. So, was all of your money warranted or not?
Chair, all the money was warranted.
Now, what is this 12.34? Can you get me that total table of appropriation? You may be dealing with a similar case to Movende. What's their total approved budget? Hmm? So their total approved budget is 12,409,000,000. 40, when you round off, it comes to 409. Now, what is this warrant of? Where do you get this one of 1234? Warranted is how much? They warranted it all. So what is this 12.3? This 12.341. Where do you get it from? Yes, utilization. Yes, the entity had total warrants. Now the auditor now talks about 12.341. A difference of 67 million. And it gives you the figure of unutilized of that amount. 60 million differences is material for us to have interest.
Chair, when you look at the table below that statement, it clearly shows that the revised budget was 12,408 and the warrant was 12,408 and the payments were 11,450. So the figure you are talking about appears to be an error. The table above the statement which you are looking at is table 4, showing utilization of warrants. And it clearly shows that the revised budget is 12,408.
Table 4, unless you have a different, it is table 2.
You've gone into implementation.
No.
Where are you ahead of?
is table 2 that shows table 1 and table 2. They speak for amount of money that was both budgeted and warranted. And both are consistent. The only inconsistency comes in the statement of the entity at the total warrants of this.
0.341.
Isma, what's the total warrant? All of it. Eh? From the books of accounts, forget about budget performance. Yeah. So can we on the face of it take it as an error?
Yeah.
And proceed?
Yes, Chair.
Since the books of accounts and the... Can we proceed? A balance of 958 was made for these activities which were not done. The 958 is recruitment. We've had that explanation, honorable colleagues. Can we proceed to why we are proceeding is that we have found that explanation in other entities, and we know it.
The only explanation that is different here is files under the pension and gratuity, files under process. Process where in your entity, finance, because Chair, at times we miss out on this because of the laxity of the officers of that entity. So files under process, at which level, where exactly?
Chair, that is in public service, not with us. Honorable.
Yeah, can we proceed to 1.2? I assessed the extent of implementation of activities for which funds were availed and utilized. A total of 12 outputs worth 30 activities worth 411,450 we assessed, and the following are observed: 5 outputs with 6 activities and expenditure of 352. Is this 52 million? We are fully implemented. Out of the 12 activities, the total fully implemented 11 and partially implemented 13. Examples of the activities that we are partially implemented are provided in the figures below. Now, sir, did you do a mischarge or a diversion of funds?
Chair, maybe I'll ask the accountant.
Accountant, a quick one. Did you do a mischarge or a diversion of funds?
No, I think it is not apparent here. Maybe you can elaborate on where you get this from, because these are activities which are partially implemented.
So where did you put the funds?
To partially implement.
No, Mr. Chairman, when you look at the first one, the 142 million, only 13% of 100. But you got the whole budget. 13%. But you got the whole budget of 100. Only 13% of 100% routine.
Oh, okay, Honorable. You are saying you don't see the divide. Can you go through table 1? For routine maintenance, this lower level health visits, 100 jobs cards, 4 quarterly review meetings, 1 inventory on nomad system completed. You budgeted to spend 142 million. You spent the whole amount. You did only 13% of 100 of the routine maintenance visits to lower level. That means if 13% represent, you did We can't get the figure. You did only 13%. Can we get 14% of 142? Quick one. We are going to do for you and establish the money you've got to account for. Just do 14%. 13% of 142. 18. So what's the difference between the other amount? So you just do not even not waste time. In this case, do 87%. 128 million. Not all those figures because we are going to add them up. Now, it's 123. You have 1,000 X-rays. Amount budgeted 133. You spent all of it. You only did 522 out of 8,000 were carried out. And the auditor says no unspent balances. Okay? We go to, yes. Please note the figures, the money is there. 20,000 ultrasound scans. Okay, that money includes these others. Only 4,270 out of 20 ultrasound scans were carried out. No unspent balances. No. 4 board meetings. 48 senior, 4 board meetings, 48 senior meetings, 12 facility-based support supervision. You had a budget of 10 million. You spent 9.7. Only 24 of the 48 senior management meetings were held. 1 board meeting of 4 was held. Is 10 billion? No. Is it 10 billion, sir? It can't be 10 billion.
It can't be 10 billion because our total budget is 12 billion.
It's 12, it's 9 million.
And almost 80% is wage.
Did you contest the figure? It is here, 10 billion. And you also responded to 10 billion.
Yes. Hello? But no, let's go further, colleagues. 41,500 immunization for under 5s. Amount 80 million. You spent 80. You did only 506. 5,006 and 1. You had 30,000 inpatient admissions. 708 million. Only 4,973 out of 30,000 immunizations under 5 were carried out. 70% BOR, 75% were done. 600 general outpatients, 263, 400 million. You only did 10,000. 925 out of 60. 126,000 specialist clinic attendances. You only did 5,000 out of 5,932. 110,000 ANC visits. The amount is 79. You only did 500. The other one is 10,000. You only did 5,556 of the 10. Only 8,405 out of 24 contacts were carried out. The total amount of money spent was this. Budget was 12, you spent 11. Sir, where did the money go? So where did, and they're saying no unspent. Spend it amount. You had that budget.
Chair, this were against targets which we set. Like the bed occupancy rate, I think the response of partially unimplemented, I think, is not correct really, because bed occupancy is the number of people you have in that bed which slept over. Yes, so maybe I first read the response before I can explain, Chair.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Chair.
Whether you read or you talk, it's you.
Chair, the outputs are normally projected based on previous year's performance, and patient turnout may not exactly be the same as the projected numbers. This is normally affected by seasons, health-seeking behavior, and partners that we do not have any control over. It may also be as a result of improved performance of lower health facilities and other public health interventions in the case of a good outcome. 3 board meetings were held and 1 was converted into an inauguration meeting due to inadequate funding. And due to some competing schedules, sometimes top management meetings are postponed. During this financial year, under review, the maintenance workshop budget was scrapped by Ministry of Finance, and operations of workshops, especially the routine visits and on quarterly basis, were limited. However, in the 4th quarter, a supplementary was given. The supplementary budget of 200 was given. 200 was released, and more emergency visits were carried out, and major repairs were done. The funding release could not allow completion of targeted job cards. Chair, I also came here with the engineer for the report.
No, what you can do, Doctor, have you ever heard of something called the unit cost?
Yes, Chair.
Okay. If you don't meet the numbers as you had budgeted for, okay, per unit, then there are unspent balances. That's why the auditor says you spend all the money, no unspent balances. Ideally, you should have had savings because you are not meeting the requisite number for which you projected. Unless you inflated the figures, you had no proper planning, you had nothing, you are just estimating. Who is your planner?
The
is he
principal,
here?
yeah, the principal hospital administrator.
The hospital what?
The principal hospital administrator.
Where is he? Yes, sir. How long have you been doing this job? You speak on record.
I've been acting in that capacity for more than 10 years.
Acting or working?
Yeah, I'm not a designated planning officer, so it's a responsibility I carry because the hospital has no designated economist to do the planning.
And that is not part of your structure.
So you are just acting. So in the hospital, what position are you?
I am a principal hospital administrator, Honorable Chair.
There is no hospital administrator in Masaka.
There is one.
A designated one.
A hospital administrator, yes.
He's the one.
And your principal hospital administrator.
Yes,
and the planner.
And the planner as well.
Yes.
Is it a position?
Is it a position or is the hospital administrator, it's part of its roles? Do you have a separate principal economist for planning for the hospital, or it's supposed to be part of your duties as a hospital administrator?
There is no designated economist for the planning unit. The hospital's planning unit
is not staffed.
It's not staffed.
For 10 years, there's no planner.
Historically, there have been no designated economists in the hospitals to handle the function.
Let me put it this way. In your structure, there's no portion for economists. Is that what you're trying to say?
In the new structure which we have been discussing, it has been provided for, but it's not filled yet.
Okay, now let's go. You execute this duty, okay? And you inform whoever you inform, maybe the executive director, on the budgetary figures based on history and trend analysis, not so? And then you come up with these 1,000, 1,000, blah, blah, and you ask for money corresponding to those numbers. And you don't implement them. And you have no unspent. It's like, sir, organizing for a party. You say, I'll have 100 guests. Okay? Only 20 turn up or confirm. Okay? This time it's confirm. You are the budget. Only 20 tell you I will attend. Will you go and ask for money for 100?
But, Mr. Chairman, when you look at this table, they derive all these activities from the previous activities in the previous financial year. Is it right, sir?
Yes, that's the trend we use for budgeting.
Yes. Now, when you say 8,000 X-rays, then you say only 520. It's you the one projecting that we are going to do that. But now the actuals really.
Chair,
and this is done by you, not given by someone. It is you, sir.
Chair, maybe the
Honorable Chair, before he comes in, Hospital Director, we need to be fair to the people we serve. Honorable Chair, I've been computing the percentages of performance of this referral hospital under all the categories mentioned. And most of them are under 4%, 5%, 13%. And when you go, for example, you take an example of this provision of the X-rays, 522 out of 8,000. That's a percentage of 6%. And you gave a reason that could be there was an improvement in services provided by the lower units. That's the reason that you gave. But he knows that most of the times your X-ray is down. That is why you find yourselves, underserving in this area. He cannot say that, a performance out of 100%, you only did 6%, and you allege that, that performance was out of the improvement in services of the lower units. And if that is the case, we would have seen you reduce on the amount of money that you ought to have used under this activity. But you use 100% of the money when you've only served 5-6% of the activity that you had planned. Honorable Chair, they are being very unfair to us.
And Honorable Chair, in addition to that, the lower health facilities do not have X-ray machines. I wonder which kind of health facilities the accounting officer is referring to that are improving service provision. And Chair, in addition to that, you realize that around Masaka Regional Referral Hospital, there will be so many X-ray machines, and most of the times the patients are referred to the outside facilities. So there is no, unless you're talking about the improvements in those private facilities, but government facilities, that is not true. And if the machine is kept down, like Honorable Namoga is saying, why don't they use the money which was supposed to work on the 94% to service the machine?
Okay, you answer. Yes.
Honorable Chair and members, our statement of performance, if I can draw you to the final accounts, is on page 32 of the final accounts book. And if we can do proper reconciliation of these figures, by the nature of the audit, And what was reported was activities that were not fully implemented. But when you look at that table, that statement on page 32 of the accounts, statement of performance, you will look at other areas where, page 32 of the accounts, statement of performance.
Okay.
We have areas where we overperformed, but by the nature of the audit, those are not reported. But we also need to be considered for the overperformances in certain areas. Because when you look at inpatients, we are budgeted for 30,000. Our actual performance was 31. When you look at operations, 500, we managed 506.
Chair, order. Honorable Chair, order. Accountant, you came to account for these areas where you did underserve the public. So for us, we are not here to consider the areas where you overperformed. It's yourself who set targets for yourself. The entity, you set targets.
We are not here to appraise you.
We are not here.
So what we are saying is, much as you are saying, we need to account for the money that was not spent on these areas where we
Honorable
underperformed.
Chair. Honorable Chair.
Areas where we overperformed.
Yes, exactly. That's why for me, I think you are being now honest. Did you do any diversions?
Chair, the diversion is not there because the areas on which we budget to spend, the votes are almost the same. When you budget for stationery, for example, for inpatient services, it is the same stationery that you use for outpatient. When you budget for medicine, the ones that apply on the specialized services may be the ones that operate for, that apply for operations. So
you see, the auditor who audited you and came up with this total showed you, and by the way, you are not even right, because, let me read for you. 5 outputs with 6 activities and expenditure worth 355, 52, 600, 6,000 were fully implemented. You understand? The full implementation that you want for us to applaud you, out of a budget out of an expenditure of 18, of 11 billion. The full implementation is 300 and what? 352 million out of 11 billion. Is that clear? You wanted us to give you credit. But how do we give you credit where full implementation according to budget and output activities, you only did 5 outputs with activities of only 6? Those are the only ones you fully implemented. And says out of 24, the hospital fully implemented 11 activities were partially implemented. So for full implementation, you only account for 352 million, sir. And that may include wage.
Chair, can I say something?
So can you drop that misleading thing where you are referring us to give you credit? By the way, if you don't tell me where the money you put it, I'm locking you up.
You see,
Where did you see? We normally have today we normally do other things and delay, but this is where the heart of the audit is. You come here to Parliament, we sit long hours, give you budget, costed activities, blah, 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 budget framework paper, Sujui, you have budget conferences. Then you budget to spend public money this way. And you can't tell me where the money went. You only tell me you overdid some activities. Yes, but for 352 million. The rest out of 11 billion. If you are in my chair, what would you do with an entity before you?
Chair, I think we need to do some reconciliation on these figures. Because when you say outputs worth 11 billion, we are partially implemented. And bearing in mind that our total budget is 12 billion.
Yes.
The majority of it is for salaries, which is about 8.9 billion. So out of the 11 billion they are talking about, this includes payment of staff salaries, which we did fully, and we have not declared any arrears for salaries. So that's why I'm saying we may need to do some reconciliation on these figures to come up with the...
you see, even on salaries, when they are scoring you, for as long as in table, you see, read table 2. Okay, recruitment of staff. That will not be, there is 900 million you do not spend. So that activity is non-implemented and or partially implemented. So for the auditor, he will not give you a full score, even on what you think is salary. Okay, we can be generous and say you fully spent money on salary. How much is it? What is your wage? It is here. Wage expenditure salary NSSF is 8.5 million. Now out of 11 minus that, give me accountability for the rest of the 3 billion about,
Chair,
which you partially implemented.
Chair, part of that 3 billion, part of it goes to pensions and gratuity.
Sir.
Yes.
8
is salary alone, minus pension and gratuity.
8 salary wage contract. Yes, I'll be honest with you. Yes, pension expenditure, pension and gratuity is another 1.2.
Then
out of which, out on the salary, 958 you did not spend. Is that correct?
Chair, can I answer?
No. Is that correct?
It's correct, yes.
Then I can take you through the figures. Be generous and tell me and take figures as they are. 8.5 less it on 12. Okay? Go for 1.2 less it on what? On 12. Then you go for these utilities. And when they counted these units, why you categorize them patient admissions? In that sector, they factor in salary. When they say immunization, the 80 million, there is a salary component. I'm aware of it. It's embedded within that output. Therefore, we can take you on some of course, on the remaining money, of which is like 1.5 billion. It's okay account. Because those are other output and activities reviewed.
Explain?
Yes.
Chair, some of these are routine activities like cleaning the hospital. We clean the hospital at a rate of about 11 million. Is that okay? Is that correct, accountant? Cleaning the hospital.
11 million, that would make about 140.
Yes, per year.
A year, yes.
And then some of these monies are for some of the money is also for food for patients and destitutes. Actually, some of the accumulated arrears which we inherited was money for food for patients. Chair, we really...
And now for scan, how much do you charge?
Chair, plain CT scan is 120,000.
Okay. So what was your NTR this year?
Maybe accountant can...
Accountant, what was your NTR? Because nobody has reported. Has it been reported on? What was your NTR?
Our statement of performance is on page...
look for NTR. I have an issue there. Yeah, what was your NTR, sir?
Our NTR for this year was 718,498,000.
Okay, how much was transferred?
Transferred was 486.
Transferred 486. Okay. What happened to the rest?
Chair, this was utilized, and we communicated this to the Accountant General and provided the attaching
under which law?
Documents.
Under which law? And this is where now I've got you. Last year, and this is where I have problem with the auditors. Last year, the same hospital had a challenge with the transferred NTR. You are here with you. I audited you. And you are still operating how many accounts? How many accounts are you operating?
The hospital has 3 accounts.
You had 3 accounts? Which is?
But the one for NTR is specifically 1.
No. You had 3 accounts. I audited you and got you off the hook. And told, did I refer to CID? Then. Now, today, the auditor deliberately chooses not to report on NTR. Apart from it appear as a matter. Because it's a matter which we dealt with, found you capable of retaining money, failing to transfer the money to the consolidated fund. And you are hiding these monies on various accounts. You come back the next year and you are doing the same thing. I'm locking you up today.
Mr. Chairman, I had indicated that...
That's why, Salongo, that's why I have issues with sometimes these audited reports. This was a contentious issue last year.
Yeah. He has indicated that there was authority, maybe or table the authority for utilization at source.
Chair and honorable members, due to the constraints we get in operation...
The question is
I'm coming.
Please, but you are wasting time by taking us all circles. Give us the letter. You say there was an authority to utilize that money.
The authority is talking about
Yeah. Can you...
Ngapi? Where are you walking up to?
You read them.
This is a submission to the Accountant General on the utilization, on the corrections and expenditure for non-tax revenue for 2023-2024. Masaka Regional Referral Hospital collected a total of 718 million from its private wing non-tax revenue sources during the year, against a projection of 472 million. Out of the total corrections, 489 was transferred to the consolidated fund.
400 and what?
489. 1.5 was incurred in the account as bank charges, while shillings 230 million point 6 was spent by the hospital due to unavoidable expenditure requirements that could not be accommodated by the general government releases under non-wage recurrent budget. The purpose of this is to request that our subsequent NTR budget projections be raised, since we have been exceeding the targets, and to accommodate the rising expenditure needs of the private wing. We request that this expenditure be recognized in the accounts of Masaka Regional Referral Hospital for the year ending June 30th, 2024, as per the breakdown attached.
So that letter's purpose was for what? Was to request to raise your
NTR projection.
That's a different thing.
That's
we
a different
want
thing.
the authority to expend.
To expend.
And it's supposed to be written to PSST, not Accountant General.
This one you are pleading with the Accountant General to include after you have spent your money. Maybe Chair, through you, Chair, can he pass that thing to you?
Yeah, by the loan table.
And make photocopies and read it, because we even want to know the dates and what. Can he pass it to you? This
Can you lay it on table?
What are you laying?
You read it, someone will, the clerk here and his staff will pick it.
Addressed to who, which date, and signed by who?
It was addressed to the Accountant General, received on the 16th of August 2024. It was written on the 15th of August. Submission of non-tax revenue and expenditure for 2023-2024. Signed by the Director, Masaka Regional Referral Hospital.
Director, under which law were you writing that letter?
Chair,
pass it to the clerk.
Chair, this arose because of the expenditures we have. One of these expenditures is buying medicines for part of the hospital. And then some of this expenditure is for paying salaries for the people who work in the private wing. It is the breakdown.
But Director, before you reach there, first things first, the authority to use that money to the PSSST. You are not a new person in being the accounting officer.
And it's
you write to a PSSST for seek permission. But this one you are...
Go ahead.
Chair, we wrote that to, we have those writings to PSST. I think we shall just attach it.
No, sir. You know, this query with this hospital, okay, is reoccurring. I'm the same person who chaired the meeting last year. That's why today you deliberately chose not to, you spoke to the auditor not to report on it. This was deliberate because all hospitals are reporting their own TR. Masaka did not report on NTR anywhere. It's because last year we had the same issue, sent you to CID on the same issue. This year, sir, we will speak to the auditor. and the issue not future. You forget that the accounts don't lie. And you are still around. As you speak for an auditor to change the narrative in this report, he cannot audit the other accounts. He cannot alter. And that's why on audit report you attach the accounts for us to compare notes. I can now tell you, this is how we spent the 233. A portion of it was spent, I think you paid yourselves allowances, worth 91 million. You also did some purchases on goods, worth 140. So that's why you have 232 and 48. That's why you get 7. So that's how we spent the money. Cham, 91 million.
Chair, the expenditure on private staff salaries is charged on that code for allowances.
Yes, that expenditure, sir,
it
is
staff
part,
salaries, mainly.
this expenditure of private staff should be appropriated. Was this man appropriated to you? Let me tell you now to the high offense. Was this man appropriated to you to pay those people? You can't even take over the role of parliament. You amend appropriation. It's illegal. You are not entitled. And Chief Administrative Officer, Accountant, what is your title, sir? Planner. Do you have a body resolution?
Yes, we have.
You have. CID, you go for the board chair of that hospital. Also call him to answer. Because even the board is not permitted to appropriate, to take over the role of appropriation, to authorize you to retain money. Because that's what they say. Let's call a board meeting. Go after the board chairperson of Masaka. Let him also report to the CID. You, planner, accountant, what's your title? Procurement officer. You also spent some money, 4 of you, CID. Because you see, we can't be on the same issues every year. I come here, I advise you. Even when they arrested you, I talked to the said, go slow on them. You thought you will now speak nicely to the auditor and you hide that figure. I think that's something we decided to do.
Yeah. And these things should just stop at just sending them to say they should spend the night in said. I think possibly that's when they'll wake up. It's business of just going to take statements there. And
No. Well, the CID
knows. Last time we did the same thing.
We can't veer into that angle. But don't hide under public officers. These are public officers. This kind of impunity. Last year, same thing, sir. Even if you want to say we are horrible, no. Last year, I was in this chair with you. Same issue. You still operate the 3 accounts. We advised you not to.
Chair, can I say what?
And I'm going to recommend a dismissal of you. Because we can't be at the same, don't take it that you are going to refer. I'm going to write to recommend the parliament that these officers who with impunity continue to do the same things every year be relieved of your duties and you not stay there. Because this permanent pensionable thing, me I'm permanent, I'm pensionable, I'm unmovable. For how long? Now you thought convenient, and I knew. You thought convenient that this NTR I will not, it will not be reported on. You said it's not an audit query. Sometimes it's a tough call because I know some of you personally, and you are known to me. It's a tough call to send people, to CID frequently. But but you leave us with an option. I am normally around Masaka doing a lot of work. So it's supposed to be also my hospital one day. I'll find myself in your hands. And say, this money now, we have you. So, what? You don't have medicine to treat me. But it's we do it with the heart of stone. It's not something we enjoy. But you leave us with an option. Now somebody told you, that NTR thing, I will not report on it. When the accounts are there. There are quite a number of things. So,
and that issue of you budgeting for, say, immunization, 80 million for 48,000 children to be immunized, and you only immunize 5,000. How? The whole budget is provided for all this. When you do it, it's like you are immunizing a child at 15,000 shillings per child.
Per child? Hmm? Of course, there are labor costs in the way
but shouldn't be that.
It shouldn't be that. And that's why even this auditor,
because when you are doing the breaking into the unit cost.
You see, this auditor was also very tricky. Because he was giving us those block figures, including wages, he was simply running away from giving us real figures where to take them on a diversion. Now for each sector, sir, where is the accountant? I want a wage out of this figure. Don't you have a wage under each segment? I want a wage out of this figure.
It down, but
if you can
under one item.
Yeah, if you can speak to like patient admission, I see 780. There is a staff wage there, not so? Under that sector. Is that correct? You imputed the wage there. I want you to get off the wage. And you give me the other real figures. Then when I get those other real figures, you are going to account for the rest of that other money. For it, these are simple things. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items, get me out of the wage, give me the other figures, then I will score you per unit. Okay? You can even do it and give this to us. But that one I will do with my officers. Just even if you refuse, I'll remove these wages because I can get them. And then you tell me all these unspent balances and you account. You are crying, money, but the little there is also not put to proper use.
Mr. Chairman, I want the accountant or whoever, you go to page 50 of their accounts. Page 50, sir. Are we there, sir? Are we there?
There.
Yeah, those balances, The project Massacre Regional for Hospital project account number 903-4063, that one, Stanbic. Then the second one. But when you look at the attachment, the next one, the statements you got, certificate of balance. The first one is fine of 427. Now the second one you are quoting, it's talking about the same account number. Are you getting the point?
Yes, the second is
Minister of Health, stock CDC, HIV/AIDS massacre, project number 903-006385809. The same as the first one, but talking of, is it the same account number?
Now, Honorable, the first one is Massacre Regional Referral Project account. The second one is Ministry of Health, stock CDC, HIV/AIDS, Massacre Regional Referral Hospital.
Yes, but the account number, I'm reading the account number from certificate from Stanbic. The second one, you read for me the account number. Are we together?
Yes, we are together. I think this is a typing error from the bank.
Where did the money go? Really, and you carried it, sir,
when we provide a statement, it's different from this. The certificate is typed when we request for it. So I think this is
certificate of balance from the bank. You explain. So we are supposed to use it.
When we request for a certificate, they simply type. So this could be a typing error.
Mudimi, don't go away. But you see, sir, a bank balance on the account, whether you put it for what purposes, it will give you the total amount of money. Not so?
Yes, the amount is there and it's required.
Yeah, but it's the same bank account with the two different amounts.
Yeah, but as Honorable has put, when you look at page 50, the one he referred us to, the narration of the account is different and the account number given is different. So,
but sir, you're a senior person. To a bank, even if I have two bank accounts, the bank where you own two bank accounts, same names, the account can't be the same. If I'm Wangati Vumbi and I own two bank accounts in my name, the account number can't be the same.
Yes, I've noticed that this
no.
is
Can you believe you a
provide
senior accountant? Is there any possibility? All of us operate different bank accounts. Even if they're in the same names, in the same bank, the account numbers are different. And you give me a different ATM if that's what I want. Give me a different checkbook if that's what I want. How on earth does this pass you over?
Chair, we can provide a corrected version of the
You mean you are also seeing it for the first time?
Yes.
And you sign the completeness.
And so how do you balance your...
My report...
What was the purpose of having this certificate if you cannot look at it and
report
compare?
on page 50 is well put down with the correct account numbers. So, and the bank statements we get from the bank are in alignment with what I put down. So I was expecting the certificate to be the same, but I'm getting it that it is the wrong account number.
You don't just expect. You don't just expect. You verify the things when you get them. You verify. You don't just receive and you just read the word certificate and you assume. You assume it's okay.
You can get a corrected version from the bank.
But you can also. This shows a lack of seriousness on your part.
You have a
for us who have just scanned this thing from here, a few minutes, we are able to pick out these anomalies. And yet for you, this is your work you do routinely.
And Mr. Chairman, these documents, these are public documents they have submitted. The public is using. Of which help now if you bring it now?
Okay. Honorable colleagues, can we go to 2.21, delay in implementation of activities? Implemented a strategic plan, that one we can delay. You delayed here for 3 months on the project. How much money is this? 9 billion.
Yeah.
3 projects worth 9 billion.
Yeah. I think we should, on this issue of the certificate here, first of all, why would the bank issue 2 certificates on the same account?
It's called the certificate of balance.
Certificate of balance of this. 2 of them. Same account. Why would the bank do that? This points to a possible bigger problem even within the banking system on this Stanbic Bank. Because if they issue, let me see, and you know, it's even on the same date, surprisingly. It's on the same date. What was Stanbic Bank up to? If they were on separate dates, possibly you would think there was a mishap. But it's on the same date, stamped 11th July 2024.
Honorable,
So
this is a copy and paste error.
What?
This is a copy and paste.
No, it's not copy and paste. Why on the same date? Why on the same date?
Yes, we request you at once. We request
Yes, you request at once. But
at once.
I don't know why you're defending the undefendable. If I were here, I would have just said, let me go back and look into this and that's with my bank and tell what happened. If they were on separate dates, we would think possibly, but it's on the same date. Why would the bank issue 2 separate certificates? Because if there was a mistake, they would have withdrawn one.
You would have said, no, this is a wrong account number.
This is a wrong
or you are seeing it for the first time, sir.
That's what he's saying, that he's seeing for the first time. Why would the bank do that on the same date? You know, there's a way these banks also behave these
Okay,
days.
can we say which date is this one?
It's stamped there, it's 11th July 2024, also 11th July.
You are going to give us a bank statement of that account of that month. Okay? And a bank statement for all these accounts for that month. Will that one answer part of our queries? If we got a bank statement,
then we would interrogate them, yeah.
we shall interrogate it. Not the whole of it, for just that month.
Yeah, that month, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes, we shall provide.
You are going to provide a bank statement?
But you can do it from here. Stanbic is here.
Yeah.
By the way, you
While
can.
you are here, someone can walk down here. You pick it. Does it require you to go to Masaka?
Yeah, by the way, this one you don't need to go to Masaka. There's Stanbic, there's even here, Parliament Avenue, there is one at Garden City. This one provided today.
Since they are going to police, as they are there, someone should be picking it.
Yeah, police, work with them to give you a bank statement for month of July as part of, for the 2 accounts.
Even the other letter in your office can be scanned from Masaka, can be sent on your WhatsApp, the letter of seeking authority. You said you have it. It can also be sent
to the PSST. Even if we got that one, even the PSST doesn't have powers.
We just wanted to see if there was, that attempt was done. Because they're right there, then APST will now be its problem because they want to bring it to Parliament for appropriation. It can't be them.
Okay, but Masaka. Masaka,
Chair, you have refused to give me permission to say.
No. I'm here, sir. Say what?
Chair, for
I
sure,
can even say
we are really sorry for what is going on or what has happened. But I want to start with this statement of performance. I think there's a variation with the narrative. If you see this performance, immunization, which you said was 5,000, actually it was 35,000, which out of the 41. Then inpatients is actually 30,000 out of the 31. X-ray is actually 7,488 out of 8,000. I think there is.
Did you have exit meetings with the auditors?
Honorable Cooper, we had exit meetings.
But sir, would you fault me for reading the auditor's general report as it is?
Because even in your response when you are coming here today, because I guess you yesterday or the other day you met to discuss these things, you should have said that we have seen a mistake here, we need to correct. That's not correct. It should have come from you. They say no. That please, there are some things I need to clarify as we go on.
Chair, I'm sorry with that. And then, Chair, the other thing is about the NTR.
The NTR is indefensible.
No, I'm not saying I'm defending it, but I really want to give a small breakdown. That this 91,000 is because the budget inadequate, and then salary for people who are, they call it allowances.
Before you go into those breakdown, for us, we're saying the authority, the procedure.
Yes,
yes, you have spent. We were not saying doubting you how you spent it, but the procedure, what the law requires of you.
Where I'm not getting you off the hook. We had the same query last year. Same query. Actually, I sent you to CID, same query. Now, today what you do, Elijah, listen to what happens. Today, what this director and the accountant do, they talk to the auditor, drop the query. Don't report on NTR. Those fools there, senior 6, will not see. I mean, we know the science now. You said, that one brought us trouble this in the last year. Please don't report. Okay? He says, okay, I won't report. I don't want to impute wrong things. He looks to you with a kind heart and says, I will not report you, sir. Now, he forgets he can't audit the account.
Chair,
and he can't audit my memory.
Exactly.
Is to know that I had a query with this entity last year. The query was on what? That's the benefit of having a chair auditing about 3 years. So you are able to track an entity through a lane of 3 years. And our room is to ensure that these things, we are not about, we don't get any kicks from seeing a gentleman like you walking to CID. No. We don't feel good. But we want to see things done better. You have 1 year to correct that.
Chair, maybe the last one. Because of what came out of this, our NTR has now been increased from 400 to 1 billion. And I think in the consequence...
I know why it is improving. You remember?
Yes.
Do you want me to take you? Even in this massacre here, because you don't have adequate time to audit, they did not have, they were even writing money on the receipts. You know, these receipts printed, receipt books. They sell from NASA, Masaka Industry Park, Kampala Road. That's where they had the printed receipts where they were selling. They were saying that entry, they did not have a computerized system. And I'm sure up to now you don't have it.
Chair, we are using EFIA, and previously we were using Clinic Master.
But you know, last year I got you with receipts. Why do you? Why are you avoiding it at that time? Now, if you even tell me you had even a system and you went to receipt, then that you are making your case worse. My brother. You are making your case worse. So
it's just the procedure.
It's just a procedure. And I would have been okay if you had thought a remedy. But you cannot turn yourself into parliament. You begin to appropriate money. Even PSSC doesn't have powers. By the way, parliament can give you an exemption to spend money. You need to just seek authority.
But, Mr. Chairman, even when you go to page 6 on the comment on income and expenditure of the vote against the budget, on number 1, that item could have appeared in that one. You could do page 6. Yes. Yeah. Would have said the non-tax revenue of RAC could appear. And if you have not done an attempt to roll it, but you could have been here.
Don't even know what. I even knew from before, but I never looked at this audit report. But I knew from the word go that you have money spent on source from Massacre without looking at your books. Because I've known that as a history. Massacre, you are supposed to be on top of things. Can we go to this one? And the auditor was very brief this year. Let us go for your project work, sir. Appendix 3. Where is Appendix 3? Out of the 3 sampled projects, 3 projects worth 9 delays could not be established since no documents were availed for audit review as in Appendix 3. Appendix 3. Honorable colleagues, you go to page 19, of the, page what? Page 19 of the Auditor General's report. Yeah, you look at page 41. Let us interrogate you on that. Schedule project and subvention balances. Project balance. May government of South Korea currency disbursement for the year, payment for the year, balance 0. There's Ministry of Health. Which had issues? Which had issues? Then Indian University. Balances as of July 2023. Dispatchment is that. Payment for the year is that. Balances 20 million. Ministry of Lab Support. Balances, medical interns, allowances, Gavi funds, UNCF, So when you look at that page, what does it tell you, accountant?
Mr. Chairman, I want the accounting officer to relate the two, page 8. Page 8 of the financials and 41. The accountant could come in. 41, what we are referring to, and
page 8 of financial position.
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't you report on these projects and the auditor says, which is a big indictment on you, sir. The auditor says that the auditor says out of the 3 sample projects, 3 projects worth 9 billion, delays could not be established since no documents were availed for audit review. You even attempted to not avail the auditor with the documents. That's why it's position of financial. This is what Medini wants to talk about, not so?
Yeah, yeah.
That in the financial position of cash and cash equivalent,
all these balances.
All these balances should
Where
have
are they?
appeared. Where are they?
Chair, I want to clarify that Accountant General's guidance is that money that is appropriated by Parliament and goes through the consolidated fund is what is reported on the IFMS. Then the projects and donor funds that come to the entities but are not through the IFMS are reported on a separate document, which is the schedule of projects and subventions. So the balance that is shown on page 8 as under cash and cash equivalents, this is the balance that you saw on NTR account. The balance on projects CBC and the project account, these are the breakdown of those balances. As on page 41, you can see we have projects, which is coffee. The money passes through the project account. CBC has its separate account, and that is what was reported there.
Yeah.
And then
we get the point, but when you go to page 6, I thought it could be a statement somewhere under page 2. Number 6, bullet 2, comments on assets. And I thought you could write on something about these balances. Yeah.
the comments here relate to what is included in the statements. But the disclosures for these projects and those ones are disclosed separately in that memorandum statement, which is called the schedule of project and subvention balances. Yes, Honorable, when you look at, for example, CDC, number 2 on that page, the balance here is 129,379,602. And when you go to page 41, we are looking at Yes, we are looking at page 41, where there is MOHCDC HIV. The balance as at 30th June 2024, it is the same amount, 129,379,602. Then IDEA, these other projects you can see, subventions, means of health, interns allowances, all these come under this hospital project account, which has a balance of 427 million. It has a balance of 427 million. So it
at some of down there, Minister of Health, laboratory support.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Makerere University, stock, all that. The Minister of Health, ICU, GAVE, UNICEF. So the sum of this, where is it?
From the reconciliation list.
We are picking on account. Yes.
I was explaining that all these other funds which do not have a separate account, all this money comes through the hospital project account.
Question. Because this figure should, if they are included in those bank accounts, then they should total up. So this one's on page 50 here. They all don't total up to all these bank balances which are on page
You made
41.
an attempt
That's
on page 50 to indicate on the annex.
But you have not indicated all.
All.
The balances. Or maybe you have an explanation during your reconciliation.
And
how they don't
you
disappear.
said bank reconciliation and the list of all bank accounts. That's the head note. All.
Yeah, these are all we have.
Then there is. Why does it not have the figures? The other balances. Where have they put? Where will you put it? That's what we need to explain. Where will you put the other monies? Because if this is all the bank accounts,
all. Where is the 150 million?
And Maki, you are saying reconciliation. Since you are bringing everything.
Reconcile. We thought Gavi, I think, is an account on its own.
No.
UNICEF?
All this comes through the project account of the hospital.
But which one is you?
Let's ask. If they all come through the project account, they are bank balances. Why are they not? Why are they not reflecting on the when you ask for bank balances?
Wow.
So is that money there anyway?
Where is it?
If the bank gives you a bank balance and you have those other monies there, so do the bank balances as 1st of July